We're back. We are back. Back in the saddle again, as they say. Got some music, got some water. I'm ready to cook. Maybe I'll use this. Got 4 people watching. Maybe say hi in the chat. That'd be nice. Nice to know who's here. Let's see what we got. We got JP. Hey, JP's back. How we doing? Howdy to Sawad. Nice to have you. Ooh, I had a super productive day today. I am publishing a web comic, well, some web comics, a number of them, on Instagram, and I had to format a lot of pages, and that requires, how do I say, like, I'll make a copy of one of the pages, then I have to shrink down the size, and then draw in where the word balloons and captions and sound effects are, so that the letterer knows where to put them. And it's a kind of a thing where I really want a lot of control over the exact layout of stuff. I'm persnickety about that. I like to make sure that, you know, the whole work looks right. You know, it's a work of art. You know, there's a place for everything. You know, look at a page like this, and you're gonna say, where are you gonna put the words and etc. So, you know, in this scene, he's screaming, "Where is he?" Because he's trying to find the man that killed his wife. So, you know, probably somewhere around here. Where is he? And then like a thum, smash, crash, some kind of zam, something, I don't know. And then there's a big space here. So my dude right here will say something like, "Oh my God," or something of that effect. Westgard, he'll be up here like calling somebody, "Come here." And then in this area, he'll be saying, "Take this device and get all of the data off their computers while this fight is happening." And so then this dude comes out and he's got space here and here, and blah blah blah, something something. Then our man here will say like, anyone who stands in my way shall perish, and his father will be like, I won't fail you this time. So it all makes sense that even though you can't see it now, like I know what I want, what I need. How was my day? It was very lonely, to be honest with you. It was a very kind of a. I was home alone all day, working in the studio. There's a lot of gratification that comes from that. I love the work that I do, so it's not like a complaint per se, but I feel like I need more social in my life. I need, you do your job, and I don't think your job isn't socializing because you're not allowed to be you. You know what I mean? And even though I get along with the people I work with and stuff, it's still a job. So this is how it works. But I guess the weekend is almost here. I might even go out Friday night because, like, I feel like getting more dancing in is good for me. And there's this place that I can go that it's like in a really good area. The DJs are cool, there's no problems or whatever. And I can leave at like 11 or something, get home and get some sleep, what have you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm not overdoing it, kind of. Yeah, I'll be a little tired the next day. There's no real escaping that. But I will be in the afterglow of like, oh my God, I had such a wonderful night last night. I'll have that like leg day pain in my legs from dancing so hard. And who knows, there's always some kind of girl action going on. There's like getting to know ya, da dee 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 dee. So like that'll be good. That looks dope. Thanks, man. I'm appreciating that you appreciate it. So the thing with what do you call it, Substack? It's I put up my first paid subscribers webcomic, and it's really anyway. I'll just say that I'm not even going to comment on it. So it's out there. I need to then start marketing to get more paid subscribers. And that way I can make it a money. So that's what it's about, gang. Is getting some moolahs to support what I do, laws. Holy shit, that was a stupid rhyme. Um, it's late. I had a long day. So days like this are the kind that, as an artist, you're like, yeah, awesome. I finally get a day of uninterrupted, you know, production on my shit. And I got a ton of work done. So it's quite awesome in that regard. I'll pop a few more on here since I'm here. You dance too hard and your legs hurt the next day. So I can go pretty hard, but the thing of it is, it's more the matter of how long I go. So like an average night out for me is like at least 3 hours, and that's like almost 3 hours of dancing, and it's like slow, medium, hard kind of like depending on the beats and stuff, but it's definitely nonstop movement, and as such, it's quite good. But it's more that what's crazy is that like I hate working out basically unless it's like sparring or something. But you put on some dance music and fill the room up with beautiful girls, and I can go for fucking hours, like hours. It's insane. And I don't know. I guess that's just the nature of it. It's so positive, like it's really, really positive. And I've been around the scene long enough where I almost always know somebody who's there. So there's always that kind of nice little camaraderie thing going on, you know. Let's see. Imagine breakdancing for hours. No, 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 no. Yeah, that it's funny because a buddy of mine does that or did that when he was younger. And it's like maxing out. Like you are maxing the fuck out. You're like everything you got all the way. You know, it's very, very hard. I'm not a fan of breakdancing personally, but you know, you got to have like a really high level of athletics to be able to do that. I think of it almost like parkour, you know what I mean, in terms of like how demanding it is, you know. Oh, wow, that is an interesting name. We got Shadowburn. You sound sleepless. I have a sleepy voice just to begin with, but I've had a long day and I'm kind of on the mellower side of the spectrum, if you will. So I hope my voice doesn't put you to sleep. Along with this music, I might have to pump up the music like it's something more, high energy going on here. All right, I think that's that for that. We can probably get into doing some actual inking. Hey there, Splatter Cat. Chatelet to Mr. Flash. Awesome, man. I'm in the company of some good peoples. Mucho goodo. But I do need cooler music, as usual. I'm listening to the Carpenters. You know what, though? That is some good, wholesome white music right there, folks. That is some real good, wholesome white music. So, but it's kind of putting me to sleep, so I might have to pop it out. Hello to Mr. Hippocratic Oath himself. He's here, honoring us with his presence. Das ist gut, ja? I kind of like this scene in the story because, like, Westgard is always a step ahead in ways. He's very good strategist. And so, like, we've got Dark Maga here, and he's losing his shit, blowing everything up. The father is like, oh my god, holy shit, what's become of my son? And like, you're killing everyone, and it's like, I gotta stop him. And while the chaos is going on, Westgard calls over Song of the South, SOS, and he's like, gives him like a jump drive. He's like, okay, get into, the fifth floor database area. Like, they used to work for Magaforce, so they know where the data is, and like steal it all. Get as much intel as you can. So that's kind of a neat thing. And then in the coming pages, you'll see that scene. The father's comic was great, by the way. Hail to Mr. White. Welcome, Mr. White. Splattercat. That to me is a real, really, really, really special thing. Like, my heart is in that, and I'm clearly saying some very, very dangerous, controversial stuff in there. It's not like a made for prime time comic. I think that I'm really stretching my neck out with that one to this extent. I think you know what I mean. I won't get explicit on this show or whatever, but yeah, I really just hope that people, that they sign on, and get into my webcomics. And it's in a sense like my own little movie studio. Like, I want to tell stories in a cinematic form, and that's what comics allow me to do, which is really, really cool. So yeah, nice stuff. That story, though, particularly is really very edgy. It's very, very edgy, I'd say. I don't know. Is there anything you can say about it that won't give it away in the chat? I guess. Let's read some comments. There are very good white breakdancers, and they do it in a white way. So Flash and I've had this conversation. He's far more knowledgeable than I am on the topic, so he'd be the man to talk to. I feel like I don't know, when did breakdancing start? 80s, 90s? I feel like back then things were kind of more, I want to say, innocent in a sense. That it wasn't, because like everything related to black music now, black culture, for me feels just violent and anti white and degenerate, you know. But in the past, there was tons of awesome stuff. You had, you know, classic soul music, jazz, and again, you know, there's all kinds of great stuff. You know, I mean, I guess it's, you know, to each his own as far as taste or what have you. But now it's just like kind of evil. You know, everything just seems sort of evil. Explicitly anti-white is how I'm personally feeling about that. Like, you know, in I don't know how to say this. It's like in say, you know, when I taught in high schools and stuff, like you literally point for point every single thing that white people did. If you were black, you had to do the exact polar opposite of it. You know, speak clearly and correct English. You know, be on time, follow the rules, don't interrupt people, blah, 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 on and on, every single thing. So it's as if their culture is like diametrically opposite of white culture. You know, there's the old not all blacks kind of thing, and that's fair enough and fine, dandy. That's fine, whatever. But like, I don't know. I don't want to be in that environment. You know, it's and so like when I think of like breakdancing and stuff, it just reminds me of that kind of culture. Even though I know that, you know, according to Flash, there's some good stuff out there. So, but I would defer to him for whatever information on that topic. So. Anyway, this isn't working. You're gonna have to freehand it. Moving on. Hello to Valentim Santos. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the basis of breaking is really playful. That's cool. The downward slide from Scott Joplin to P. Diddy. Fuck, man. What a massive L. Holy shit, you know? Like, damn, dude. What a. Ugh. The thing that is upsetting me is I just posted something recently about how, and this isn't new, but how the essentially the Jews are trying to get more black people pushed into country music. And my buddy Luke Cage, sorry, not Luke Cage, Luke Mason, sorry, I'm losing my mind, had a long day. He's preparing some kind of program about like black music and his critique of it, this and that. But yeah, I feel like we can't have any spaces of our own. We cannot have any spaces of our own. That makes me fucking angry. That makes me so angry. Alright, what else have we got here? You artist. Tis cool. Well, it's definitely something that can get you into some hot water. Being paid content might be a good loophole, though. Well, that's the idea. Is like, I want to put more content on there. It's, I don't know. I mean, there's a side of me that is like I hold back a lot, a lot. I'm way more radical than I show in my heart, you know, and not in the sense that like I intend to do anything illegal or harmful, you know, in reality, but I just don't believe that, you know, talk is going to get us out of anything anymore. I think it's all that itself is just another trap. It's just another fucking psyop, you know. Totally not listening to this. All right. Speaking of which, we got a little James Brown in the background. Anyway, moving on. Flower Girl is here. What a lovely name. What does WSP stand for, though? I'm not as cool as you, Flower Girl. You gotta give me a hand. I'm gonna do some comic book illustration. Since we got a couple new people here, hello to Ronald. Thank you. Maybe I'll show you guys my book for a second. You guys can pick up this book at Amazon. I'm gonna give you a cheat. Since you guys came here, you get to get a sneak peek of the book. I got some comics in here. A variety of stuff. This right here is some cool comics. Knock your socks off right there. Flower Girl says, wow, autocorrect. Oh, wow. That's funny. So this is just good times, good times. This is the current book I'm working on. It's called Militia Man and MAGA Force. It's kind of a patriotic nationalist comic book. This is some illustration I did for horror fantasy novels, where you can see like science fiction and horror stuff. Holy shark, dude, this is insane. Wow, well, those are really lovely words. Anyway, so if the book is on Amazon, there's more in here too, but it's called Imperium Calling, the Art and Poetry of Donald Kent. And on the last show, I actually read some of my poetry. Maybe I should read some of the romantic poetry. Do you color it too? Well, I do. I do most of my coloring. We did hire a dude for the digital coloring on this. This story right here is written by Mark Brahman. If you guys are super hip, you'll obviously know who Mark Brahman is. You better. And I'll tell you something funny about this story is that I modeled the president after Jared Taylor. So now you got a little inside scoop. And does Donald Kent look like that or not? I don't know. It's a gossip. It's a mystery. A friend of mine said he always thought I was a redhead. It's kind of funny. Anyway, there was something I was going to show you. Well, whatever. So yeah, in that case, yeah. But like I colored this, for example. I do, I can do digital coloring. Like this stuff a little. Well, this I have a guy that I work with. I instruct him on how to color it, and then he just does the grunt work essentially, if that makes sense. But as far as actual painting and stuff, so like I do caricature portraits, and yeah, Mark Brahman wrote that, bro. You gotta grab a copy, man. It's fucking phenomenal. Anyway, so you can see like in some cases I do like watercolor painting. I can do photorealism as well. And then other times it's digital. Sometimes it's just ink wash. Sometimes it's blah 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 blah. Anyway, fun times, happy times. Um, Hold on a second. Let me read what's going on in the chat. Hamfari is a very, very close friend of mine. What do you mean by that, Hamfari? I guess I'm missing something in the chat. Somebody said Hamfari's here. Oh, Flower Power 24-hour no toilet. Oh God. I think he's having a little joke. Don't worry about it though. Anyway, so if you like, you can grab yourself My hand is like super huge too, so this book is not that small. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get back to work here. Let's take a peek. I'm used to it. Okay, what do you know? Well, let's get into it, folks. I was asking the chat last time, what is your favorite band? And that's, I think, kind of a fun thing for me to sort of a get to know you type thing, where I can see if you guys can list, things that you listen to. Also, it kind of helps me get a little jump on some cool new music. I should tell you, I got my TikTok up and running again, and I like really hate it so far. Mostly because like it's just really limiting in terms of what you can do. Like I'm trying to put music on my, well, they do have good filters, but I'm trying to put music on my images and stuff, and they don't, like, if you type in a song name, they won't have that song. They'll have like songs that have those words in the title. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, play the fucking song. Why can't I do that? And so a lot of it's like weird commercial music, kind of like the music you'd hear over the top of a commercial, that kind of, which is just garbagey. So I'm not really getting the zing that I wanted out of it. Not super sure how to. My main thing is to try to funnel everybody. Gorillas. Oh, you like gorillas? Cool. I've been listening to ABBA lately. That's so cool, bro. Wow. Yes, Waterloo. Oh my God, Waterloo. Forget it. I love that song. Come on. Now, I heard that they didn't know, like, they don't speak English and they were just, like, kind of mouthing the words because, like, okay, here's the lyrics in English and now just. Zabadoo, I don't know if that's true or not, though. You know, you know how rumors get around. Anyway, we are drawing and inking and having fun for Super Trooper. What's Super Trooper? Is that a song? I should know. Listening to Bad Company right now. I'm not actually a fan of Bad Company, but I did some of their songs when I was in like high school. I was in what's called a Battle of the Bands. I don't know if your high schools did that kind of stuff, but like all the teenagers in the school that had bands would, get together, I don't know, half-hour set or something, and then compete, in the gym. And it's one of those like coming of age type experiences that's really cool and kind of special for a young man, a teenage dude. All right, I guess we're saying goodbye to Flower Girl. Please be nice to my visitors. This is a little rule for my show. If we can, I'm just trying to get more subscribers and roll it out, And if people decide they don't like my content, then that's their prerogative. But I generally keep a rule of just being nice, though. You know what I'm saying? I think what I'm trying to do. All right, so we got this. This is not super working out. Let's see what we can pull off here. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, I got a comic up on the paid subscription section of my Substack today. Some work kind of getting things, organized for that. But just getting the show on the road, trying to get people to subscribe and build up that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming together, which is very nice. Got cheer photos tomorrow. Got a shower. Cool. Oh, sweet. Okay, Super Trooper. Right. So what's hot and what's new and what's going on in your world, guys? Humphrey got a new guitar. That green guitar you showed in the group. How does that play? What kind of guitar is that? I'm actually looking to sell some of my music equipment. I just want to kind of, you know, get things down to just the basics. I'm living a different kind of life now on my own, and just a lot. Some of it is like not having a lot of space to store things, and this, that, and the other thing. So there you go. All right. This your own comic? Welcome to Crockmer One. Yes, it's my own comic, and I'll give you a kind of a color look at what it looks like in a more finished version. This is the sorry, the phone's bouncing around, but this is the story. Militiaman and MAGA Force. Who is behind MAGA Force, and what is their true agenda? How does this tie in with the next election? Judeo-Christian News sponsors America's #1 patriot superhero team, MAGA Force, against the demonic hordes of Klaus Soros and his secret society. This is the Watchman of our time, a new American myth for end times. There you go. How was that for a commercial? Wow. It's in Harley Benton. That sounds familiar. I assume that's like a really good like heavy metal guitar or something. I assumes. Are you in a band? Do you play in a band? The director, who I talk about frequently, he's a really great guitar player. And instead of, other than just talking about movies or whatever, we do jam. We'll get together with our guitars and make the music. It feels real good. And he wants to start like a little music band thing with me that's like shoegazing music. Like, I guess it's sort of like sad indie folk, I think is what you might call that. I don't know, you guys familiar with shoegazing? Shoegazing music? Could zoom in for you. It looks really bad. Oh my god, I can't believe you said that. I'm kidding. It's this looks really good. Thank you, appreciate it. I'm sorry, no man I was, but being an Uncle Daddy fanatic. Oh, I am pretty much outcasted. Yeah. Oh, dude, that sucks. Well, when I move to Iceland, we'll get a band going. Oh, what a dream. Oh, what a dream. That would be awesome. I'm a dad, so like the whole, my son is the first, concern in my life. So like, I have to kind of, these next several years are going to sort of determine a lot in terms of where I go, what I end up sort of doing, etc. Yeah, so they're just okay. Flash, I would like to have a spiritual gathering in Iceland one day. Oh, what a marvelous idea. Well, that's a beautiful idea, for sure. Listening to this song, you probably know it. What is it good for? So I used to know a guy who was in Vietnam, and wow, he had some pretty nasty stories to tell. He actually had photographs from it. I don't know how he ended up, because that's like government property. Like you're not supposed to have that shit, but somehow or other he got hold of that. Because they don't want to see like Vietnamese children blown to pieces and shit. It's okay if they're Palestinian, though. That's perfectly fine. In fact, they celebrate that nowadays. It's like a new thing, a new fun thing to do. But yeah, every time I hear like those old songs, it makes me think of him. I gotta get to Europe eventually. I got to. I feel like I'm just a poser if I don't. You know what I mean? Like all this talk about like white identity and all this stuff, and I've never been to Europe. Like, what the fuck? Kidding me? Damn, that looks fucking good. Look at that hair. Shit. Wish I had hair like that. It's like black fire. Let's do it. Yeah, man, let's do it. So I have friends in Ireland, England, Scotland, France, Denmark, and Finland and Hungary. I would like to squeeze in Italy in there in the trip, though. I just like, I don't know. If I feel like if I'm gonna go to Europe, I'm not coming back. Kind of, I don't know why I would come back. Well, to fight the revolution, but I mean, to me, that's why I would go to Europe, though. It's like, all right, let's get going, boys. Here we go. Here we go. I feel like Ireland's ready to pop off. I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? Interestingly, I came across this like interview of this Jew, and he was saying like their two primary enemies in Europe are Denmark and Ireland, and he's just a holy fuck, man. Just like you want to punch this guy so hard. Just an arrogant Jew, like we decide what the world is, and you are nothing. Oh, it's just really fucking narcissistic, and just insulting as hell. Like it, the jealousy of us being Europeans and them not is palpable. It is absolutely palpable. Let's check out some chatteroonie. Hold on, guys, I'm catching up. Howdy, American Counter Rev. Nice to have you. Victorians here. Hi, Donald. How are you doing? I was just writing mythology for my fantasy novel. Very nice. I'm really happy with how it's turned. That is such a good feeling, my bro. I like that. I'm in that zone myself too, actually. Humfari says Sweden and Ireland. He said I saw. Oh, you saw that clip? I think it's like going viral right now, or maybe I shared it and you saw it. I don't know. Anyway, Traveler, I always feel like kind of a jerk commenting on your stream because you don't interrupt me when I'm working. It's, you know, you bring up an interesting point. I mean, it's don't ever feel like that. Like it's perfectly. I want you guys to chat. This is a community thing. You know, I find like a lot of these art shows, art streams where it's dead silent the whole time to be kind of like, oh my god, what am I in a church or something? What the fuck, Like, ugh, this is so dry, And how often do I get to hang with my boys? Like you guys you're the shit. You guys know what's going on. We're all on the same page. We got really, really smart people in this community that bring a lot of knowledge and information and wisdom to the convos, and like, man, what's that's it's massive. Like I love it. I love it. So it's part of why I do this. It's funny because like you're here for me and I'm here for you. you know, I mean it's quite awesome. I think with my algorithm is really really kicking off now, and we're getting a lot of new people who are total outsiders to our movement, community, whatever. But I'm kind of like looking at it like, this might be the only chance that they have to actually interact with people like us. So I want to keep the door open for these guys in a way, if that makes sense. And just talk candidly about, whatever we talk about, and let them listen in and let them learn. And there's obviously going to be those who are like, you can't say retard, or this and that, and they can shove off, and that's fine. That's totally fine. It's nobody, no harm, no foul. Nobody's forcing you to stay. Like that. So like that's fine and dandy. But then there's other people that are like, damn man, I like what this guy's talking about. Like I don't know anybody anywhere who can talk about those kind of things. And I want more of it. People are starved for our content. I personally believe that. I really think that people are they're really starved for truth and authenticity. You know what I mean? So that's a pretty awesome thing to be a part of. Until I get the call, that is. But, this I typed in like 1970s hits, and I just want something without commercials, so I'm not interrupted while I'm working. And I got this, and it's okay. It's okay. But some of it's just I'm kind of slightly on the cheesy side, and I'm sort of like, I'll put on something a little cooler. And that's the problem of it. Is I can pick music I want, but there's gonna be freaking commercial breaks throughout the whole damn thing. And then I have to stop, and I swear. 'Cause you know me, I'm always swearing when I'm angry. Uh, let's read some chat. Not much here. Victorian, I read that. Has anyone seen the Hey Buddy guy recently? Was he banned off YouTube? I have seen him, yes. I don't know that he's on YouTube. I would sort of doubt that he is. But he's on TikTok and Instagram. I've seen him on Twitter. So he's around. Okay, that's not really looking the way I wanted it to. Zeppelin is definitely one of my all-time favorite bands. What a song. Oh my god. Should we drive our ships to new lands? Fight the hordes, sing and cry. Valhalla, I am coming. That's wild. Wow, man, that face. It's like underlit, you know what I mean? Like that, I think you know what I'm saying. What else? I think I told you Curtis Yarvin considered us hobbits that shouldn't be in power. Talk about a hobbit. I mean, the fucking creepy weirdo is a total manlet hobbit himself. Like, it's sort of weird, man. I think what it is, it's like, if you believe that you are the chosen people, then, and then you see the superiority of other people and other people, adjacent to you, that has got to drive them out of their fucking minds. Like, they don't make anything per se. I mean, that's not a fair thing to say. There's a lot of music and film and stuff. But, like, as far as, like, society's only ever been about parasiting off of other societies. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I often wonder, like, if, like, Hitler had ever gotten the, what do you call that? The Madagascar plan. If that had actually worked, like, where would the Jews be today if they were just, you know, placed there, and hadn't used whatever resources? I'm sure they would have enslaved the population and have them do all the labor. And then, who knows? I don't know. That's a kind of an interesting idea, though, isn't it? Or am I a bad person? I don't know. We're gonna do something real fine over here in a second. Oh, little Beatles. See, this is. I started this so much. I gotta change the music. I'm sorry. Shut up. Almost there, buddy. Hold on. Okay. Rocky Mountain Way. There you go. Also did that in Battle of the Bands. Holy cow, I'm telling you. When you're like a teenager in high school and you're in a band, and Battle of the Bands is like your only gig, you know. You're a teenager, you're not like playing in bars and stuff, you know. And like you just feel like top of the world, you know. The whole school's watching you, and you're like, holy shit, I feel like a king, you know. It's a kind of addiction almost. That high that you get from being on stage is really cool. Anyway, I think I told you to that. I'm curious why they are singling out Denmark. I haven't heard anything new about them. Yo to Gojo's Pen. Hey, hey. Hello to Lap Sellouts. Very nice shading. I was here. Yes, I remember you, Gojo. Welcome back. And Traveler says, I don't know if you've had time to read DSM-6 yet, but yeah, you shouldn't say da because da 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 has been classified as exponential da 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 da. All right, I'm hearing you. I guess I can cut that out just for the sake of YouTube. So you have R squared and R cubed. That's very clever. I know a few of those. Imagine a folk rock pagan festival in Iceland. Dude, I would play that so hard, as Luke Mason says. Like, I would just. Can you imagine me performing there? I'd be so into that. That'd be sick. Um, yeah, man, I'd be so into that. Anyway, Flash says maybe because it's resisting white replacement. Well, the guy in the interview said something like, "Oh, those Swedes, they just think they're so special. Like they're from another planet or something, and they can just tell us all what is right and wrong. And huh, who are they? You know, who are they to like he's very arrogant about it. He can't stand the fact that he's not white. Basically, it's he's just seething. You know, the man is just absolutely seething, and just unbridled hatred. It's really really hard to watch. You know, it's just got a really punchable face. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like when I look at shit like that. I'm like, I suppose that the so-called reporters are in on this kind of shit. You know, providing an opportunity for that. Like for example, there was I forget his first name, something Barrett. He's the head of the National Socialist Party in Ireland, and he was outdoors at some kind of a rally type thing, and there was like an American Jewish reporter that was there and was trying to interview him, and pretending to be all nice and everything, but this guy was like straight away like, I don't talk to Jews, and like, it went south like very quickly. But the end result is that the Jew showed his true face anyway, which was to smear this guy, to make him look bad, to get some sound bites or some shit that would make him look bad later in an edit. And once again, the fucking commercials are stopping me in my show. I don't like them. Blah, 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 blah. Do that on your own time. Alright, come on. We just need one album. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just hit the jackpot. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing classic country music. We're talking, little John Denver. We were talking about how the music industry is trying to combine, like bring blacks into country music. and like mix up the music and all that shit, and it sounds horrendous. It's a like absolutely defiling this, and it's like, oh, whites can't have any spaces of their own, none whatsoever. The whole program. But I feel like only like meth heads are gonna want to listen to that shit. Like, which is pretty sad though. We gotta take care of our meth heads. We gotta. All right, let's get down to business. Mr. Wolfpack's here, the only Wolfpack. Hello, I am Wolfie. Pleased to meet you. Nice to meet you. Indeed. Victorian hobbits are resistant to evil. Indeed. It if it's a pain point, then it deserves a look. I have a good friend in Denmark that I can ask. Good question. That'd be a good question. Yeah, it's not very nice to the people of Madagascar. Madagascar actually has a very interesting history. The most evil ruler in history was Madagascar. I had no idea to hear that. I didn't know that. I think didn't the French colonize it for a while? Swedes are the master race. The Jews know it. That's why. It's very clear. The Swedes are special, extremely. Justin Barrett. Yeah, I love Justin Barrett. I'm becoming a huge Justin Barrett fan. Don't ever talk to the press. No, God, the Judenpressen or Lugenpressen, right? Is that what it's called? It's like the German word from a certain 1930 something period. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like the trajectory of everything is like the good gets better and the bad gets worse, and it just keeps going and going and going, and it's like, oh my God, when the hell is this all gonna snap? I don't know if you guys are into this, but the sun has got this enormous. It's called a sunspot. It's like a big black area where this is highly unusual. I mean, they have them, but nothing the scale of this. This has got to be the biggest one in the whole of solar history that humans are aware of. And it's causing, I don't know, somebody recently said that it caused the blackout in Spain and Portugal. I don't know, I can't confirm that. But these, you have to wonder, how does that affect our electromagnetic composition? Just as like electromagnetic beings, How does that affect your chi or whatever? I think a lot of people seem to be going through stuff. But I don't know. This might be too cheesy too. I don't know. I'm just not having any good luck tonight, guys. I gotta get the good luck happening. Let's get some good luck, okay? With the music. Yes, the plasma storm knocked out their power. The channel that keeps track of all the solar activities called suspicious observers. Interesting. In the Army, Mountain great grandfather's nickname was the Swede. Interesting. Very interesting. Hey to Scroger. Welcome back. Oh, you don't like cowboy? Okay. I'll change the music in a second. Then most black music has roots in white music, Scottish and English brought lining out to America, which is where black church and early blues music comes from. That is something new. I did not know that. Humphari says, open, no fear. Cat eyes open, no fear. Stay safe, everyone. You know, I don't really think there is any safety. I don't think there's any law or order or any of that. It's just everything's fucked. But I'm not gonna do that music. That's for sure. Almost with you. Almost there. My favorite album of all time. Dark Side of the Moon. Okay. What is shaking in the chat? I have to catch up. Scott Joplin was supposedly taught by a German teacher. Wow. Wore our clothes, played our piano, spoke our language. Beethoven with wax, playing boogie woogie. Fascinating. Okay. I'm sorry, just watched the most recent release a few hours ago. Interesting times. Which release? What are you referring to? I live in one of the flood zones that will probably be wiped out. Our Sweden family need to move northward. Scroger, the term blue is an older English term describing melancholy. A shuffle rhythm exists. The channel splatter cat mentioned. Oh. Okay. I see. Don't be afraid to care. Don't leave me. Change. So, sorry. If you want some truly good country music, look up Coulter Wall. I will someday. I have a bunch of info debooking the whole White Sum from Black Nonsense. That's cool, dude. That's really cool. I hope you get it out there. You know? So, first time I heard this album, Dark Side of the Moon, I don't know if I told this story already, but my older brother used to hang out with one of our cousins. They were the same age ish, just like older teenagers, and I was an adolescent at the time. I don't know how old, probably thinking, I don't know, maybe 11, 12-ish, kind of pushing 12, something. And my uncle had what do you call it, a pool table in the basement with like a really, really good stereo. And they would hang out down there and play pool and be teenagers, you know. And I'm like a couple of years younger than them, so I wasn't really, you know, able to kind of be a part of that per se, right? But, you know, they thought they'd have some fun with me. And they, like, the first thing they did was they showed me this Black Sabbath album. And I don't know the name of the album, but the cover of the album is like I believe it's a Hieronymus Bosch painting of like the Black Plague. And it's a very nightmarish, truly hellish painting. It's extremely disturbing. And I'm definitely, I mean, I've always been an artist. I've never not been an artist. I didn't like, oh, I started doing this one day. No, I've always done this. And so at that age, I was, you know, drawing comics and cool shit, just fun stuff. And, you know, this has always been a big part of my life. So looking at this image really, really upset me, to be quite honest with you. I was like, it was that kind of macabre fascination, but also like I wasn't used to growing up with like disturbing images of that nature, you know. And by today's standards, there's nothing at all disturbing about it compared to the fucking gore that you see every day on you know, or in movies and all that shit. Like shit's really bad. But so then they played Iron Man, but they played it. They had me like sitting in between the speakers, and they played it super loud. And then when that voice came on in the beginning, as this kind of like weird electronic uh, sound effect, I am Iron Man, and then it gets into it. I like jumped out of my chair, and I was just pretty freaked out, you know. And they got a good laugh out of it or something, you know. But I never, it wasn't until much later in life that I kind of got into Black Sabbath and stuff. I love Black Sabbath now. But it just wasn't my speed back then or whatever. And then they thought, you know, well, hey, what else can we show them? What, you know, we can get a rise or to see what happens, see what his reaction is. And then I guess my cousin thought about Dark Side of the Moon. And so that was cool. And then, but for me, it was sort of more like a science fiction soundtrack, you know, where I'm like in some other world, you know, in some other zone. And my imagination went on fire, like absolute fire. And I could just envision all these kind of like, I don't know, just spaceships and monsters and Blade Runner and, you know, all kinds of cool imaginative type stuff, you know. And so that album just like got burned into my DNA that day. I actually have it written in my will that I want this album played at my funeral. Now you know some deep Donald Kent lore. I'm not sure I'm gonna be at my funeral, but I'm just hoping that people listen to it and get a sense of me. Maybe they might remember that they once cared about me. Or, I don't know, maybe they'll just dump my body in a ditch or something, you know, just like the way they treat me in life. 10 years have gone behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. That's gonna look pretty sick. I'm loving this. Let's back out a bit and get a flavor for the whole page here. This guitar solo fits this page really nicely. Epic. Okay, yeah, I've been through a lot of the history. Well, let me read some chatty waddies. I don't mind stealing. Let's do the important. I think sailors around Columbus picked up the. Listen to the natives of this. Yeah, I've been through a lot of history. Hieronymus Bosch was a medieval predecessor of H.P. Lovecraft. Totally, dude. That's quite a cool thing to say. He invented new creatures and humans in his art. It's like he wasn't on acid, but of course it didn't exist then. I bet they had some kind of psychedelics back then. I don't know what, but I'm assuming they must have had something. Wormwood or some shit. I don't know. What I find interesting about this album is if you look at the last couple albums before this, there's a really interesting progression because so Pink Floyd had, Sid Barrett, and that was just like the Sid Barrett show. It was just kind of revolved around him, and they were nothing like what they are now. Nothing. And then Barrett was getting weirder and weirder. He overdosed on acid, and then they were fucked. And so they brought in what's his face, Dave Gilmour, and they tried to kind of continue being like the Sid Barrett Pink Floyd without, of course, like that Dave blah blah. You get the idea. And I think they were just sort of pretending to be that other band, and not really. They didn't really have. I know they lost their identity. Once they lost Sid Barrett, they lost their identity, and then they went headlong into this like weird noise music, like Adam Hart Mother, Uma Guma, and it's really unlistenable, terrible music. In here and there, there's spots of like songwriting that's like, okay, you're trying to actually write a song, but then a lot of it was just this prog rocky experimental shit. And then I think it started with Zabriskie Point, which was like an Italian film, I think. Was it Italian? Anyway, they were hired to do like, what do you call it? Music for film, whatever that's called. And soundtrack. And then down the line, they did Obscured by Clouds, which was another soundtrack. And I love Obscured by Clouds. To me, that is like a really, really good version of Pink Floyd. It's like if David Gilmour and Rick Wright had much, much more, like they did a third of the songwriting, from then on, that would have been Pink Floyd, But for some fucking reason, the songwriting just fell more and more and more on Roger Waters, to the point where like Richard Wright didn't do anything. and like Roger Waters even like kicked him out of the studio during the Wall and stuff. And I'll never wrap my head around it. Like you're in fucking Pink Floyd. Like how can you not write some music, especially with all the great stuff you've written in the past? It's just it's just sort of frustrating. But the impression I get of Rick Wright is that he was like an extremely fragile person, like an extremely gentle, sensitive person, and like he couldn't stand up for himself. Like I don't know, like I guess in bands, sometimes you have these moments where you kind of fight over, how a song should go. That's pretty common. I mean, to what extent did they fight? I don't know. Probably got heated at points, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know. For my money, once Obscured by Clouds hit, they were coming into their own finally, and then after that was Echoes, which still, well, no, Echoes is very musical. There's no weird, just garbage noise on it or whatever. They, of course, the song Echoes is like a half hour long, and it's really a musical epic. It's a kind of like a theater piece in a sense. In that they film themselves live at Pompeii, and like they're really really becoming, like I said, coming into their own. And then after that, in fact, during Live at Pompeii, there's a lot of studio footage of them where they're writing songs for Dark Side of the Moon. And it's still very raw and very like, well, I came up with this guitar part. Here, check this out. And I don't know, I'm going to have to add something to it. I don't know what I want to do with it. And these guitar parts are like, holy shit, that's Eclipse or this or that. Kind of doing this fasting thing, and I'm super fucking hungry right now. Like, ouch, my stomach hurts. Gotta be honest, it does make me a little ornery. Fasting, sorry. Ornery Donald. Maybe I should read some chat. Oh my gosh, look who's here, Talks, with my morning tea. What you guys talking about? I was talking about music in the chat. I don't know what they're talking about now in the chat. You guys are talking about the history of black music in America. I wanted to maybe go into what Hippocratic Oath was saying about Hieronymus Bosch, H.P. Lovecraft. Pretty fascinating. I posted a couple videos on Gnosticism, which I guess I'm the only one in the group that really cares about that, but that's fine. And I don't know that like the archons, the demonic ones, that there's some shit out there. I mean, there's some shit going on out there. And like I feel like people like Hieronymus Bosch and H.P. Lovecraft somehow have like a insight into those demons, But it's funny because I'm always compelled to be making more money and like trying to get my Donald Kent brand off the ground, all that stuff. But I just more and more and more feel compelled to kind of like try to go hermit mode. And I know that's like, oh shit, that's like not, it's kind of the opposite of what I'm doing right now. But by hermit mode, like social media would only be for marketing. Like I'm not going to consume it per se. Like I would just jump on there, post a bunch of videos here and there and here and there. You know, set up, keep my not subscribe star, Substack going, and then just disappear, and disappearing. I'm not disappearing. I'm just not around, so to speak, and I can correspond with people, through the group that we have. I guess here and there, email. People want to contact me, they can email me something. But it's like I really got to get back into qigong. I got to get back into meditation, and just health related stuff. What is my calling clouds? Reading your chats. Excuse me, Iron Man parody. Ice cream man running over fat kids in the van. When they come to buy, they don't know they're about to die. Nobody helps him. They think what he's done. Oh my God, that's genius, dude. You have a flair for comedy. I think you know that. That's brilliant, bro. They think what he's doing is wrong. Nobody helps him now. He has his revenge. I fucking love that song. I love that, man. I feel that, The album More is pretty good. You know what? I forgot about More. You're right. You're right about that. The Nile song is a great tune. That's fun. Fasting becomes easy after the third day. You won't want to eat after that. I once went on a 14-day marathon fast, which is not good. Don't ever do it. It's dangerous. Fasting becomes almost effortless after you get used to it. Well, my current system is just a meal a day, but I want to get it to like a one meal every other day. It's a type of intermittent fasting, obviously, because you're going, shit, how many hours is that, 23 hours or something, Yeah. I guess I could do like some black coffee or something maybe, but not at this hour, right? That'll throw me off. Yeah, no black coffee for Donald right now. Fasting is easy for me. Oh, that's cool. Lucky you. Lots of black coffee and water. Hi to Brandon. Hey, Brandon, what's new? What's Brandon all about? I want to get to know Brandon a little bit. I'm trying to get to know my folks that come to the show. Are you an aspiring artist, or what is it about my show that you like? That would be helpful. I'm using speed lines. I'm cool. Okay, decaf is blasphemy. I never drink decaf unless there's like, I just never do. My coffee's fucking strong. It's getting stronger and stronger. It's not good. Of course, it's you and the art. Aw, what a sweetie. I don't know. I just like it. Man, a few words, Brandon. Well, I'm glad that you like it. I'm not always that interesting, though. Sometimes I'm very boring. Talk about things like, I don't know, stuff that happened to me in high school. I'll be honest, at the time I hated high school, but looking back, there were lots of good things about it. So, shouldn't complain. I guess a lot of it is just like missing the time when America was white, and like the simplicity in it, the beauty of it, the peace, the safety of it, the calm, the comfort of being at home. Oh, so nice. I long for that. I long for that so bad. I want that back again. I got one of those salt licks, the kind you give animals. Sure, my heart didn't stop to say hi. It talks, bro. I'm doing my math for so many hours. Oh, I hate math. I despise math. Okay, Brandon, happy face. Oh, clown face. That's my man right there. Okay, all right. Moving on. So, what else have I got here? I'm looking for some good movies to watch. I did find this movie channel that's, free movies. You gotta have like a VPN and shit, on your computer or whatever. But, and they even have movies that like just came out too. So, but it's crazy because there's like a bazillion trillion movies, but almost all of them suck. It's like, what is the deal with like? What's the fucking deal? Like, why is there so much time and effort put into making movies, and they're all so damn bad? Like, what is happening? How can you like strike out that much? Fucking jerks. That's why they gotta let me do the movies. Speaking of movies, yeah, man. So the script's coming together. Story is coming together wonderfully. Everything is script, really, right? You got to get the script, Excuse me. Of course, cast. Oh God, he's got an amazing cast. The people that he's got. Oh, perfect for this horror movie. Oh my God, it's just the young guy who plays the killer is like the new Patrick Bateman, basically. He's like imagine like a blonde 19-year-old emo Patrick Bateman. That's freaking fresh. It's very, very fresh. So I'm gonna have to color in these Kirby dots here. Otherwise, I'm a jerk. John Skelton was the OG rapper. Scroll up and read it. 80s tier. Bro, I really want to play the villain in movie. Wow. What kind of villain would you be? Actually, that's a pretty fun question. Like, I mean, I don't know what you know. Like, if you look at, say, Marvel villains, like, I like Doctor Doom, for example. I would like to be Doctor Doom. Not Robert Downey Jr., who I found out is Jewish. Calls himself a Jew-boo because he's a Jew practicing Buddhism. Jew-boo. That's new. Princess Bride, Lord of the Rings, we're all worth watching. Great calf, laugh my ass off. What are you laughing at, buddy? I'm a musician. Basie is here. Are you down to collab? Well, if I had recording equipment that would let me, I'm interested in collabs. Tell me more about your music. Um, this channel, this YouTube channel, has my original music on it on the playlist area. So like if you open up another tab or something and look at the playlist, you'll see my music. So you can go check that out. Give you a little flavor. What I do, I do love collaborating. I've got a major collaboration coming up this spring, which is now, but soon, with like a guy that does house music, and so I'm gonna do some vocals over that, do some instrumentation. Should be fun. They're called track packs. We're gonna like make track packs and sell them to DJs and stuff. He's very, very well connected in that industry. So you never know. You might see Donald Kent out on the house music scene somehow. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I notice his wife is very protective, though. She's like, don't plan on getting in a band with my husband, 'cause I'm gonna sabotage it. She's like that kind of woman, you know. Oh God, here we go again. Listen, all y'all, it's a sabotage. I kind of go back and forth with the chat because, like, if I just do the chat, I won't draw, you know. And I also feel like I should just be telling stories, you know. Not just, but like it'd be good, you know, for you guys. I think just more entertaining, you know. So could talk about my 8th grade English teacher whom I had an affair with, or something like that, or the time that I had a bicycle accident and opened up my knee. Maybe there's a couple like teenage got in big trouble things that I should not tell. They're pretty great, like coming of age teenage stories, but it's sort of the thing you don't want to say about yourself because it's like I was once young and dumb, you know. Just like you. Ooh. Okay, let's read some chat. Mr. Kent, you want to do skincare with me? Wow. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Um, oh, I got some messages, bro. I want to play villain. The Princess Bride of the. As I read that. AI is saying Hieronymus Bosch was not on drugs, but rather deeply religious, highly interested in human nature and symbolism. He was also deep into folklore. Well, there you go. The Robert Jew joke, yeah. Put the face mask. It's good for your face. Nah, I don't do that. Oh, that. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about like the skincare thing. I could probably use one if it will improve my looks. You know. Maybe, give it a shot. I can't find face. That is, I'm a rapper from Germany, but I also do English sometime. Is that right? What do you rap about? Because we earlier in the show had a little conversation about black music and the origins of like black American music and origins and all that stuff. Probably scroll up and read some of it. What else? What else? The Outlaw Josie Wales. That's a very good film, but I've already seen it. Actually, anything that's good, I've probably seen it already because there's so few good films out there. Like even if it's just not bad, you know, I could, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm so desperate for good film. Please just don't be bad. Anyway, moving on. I can pay as well. Pay me to make music with you? Wow. Have you even heard my music? I mean, I have a freaking fantastic voice, and I play guitar and bass. The kind of music that I do primarily is like white identity, white nationalist kind of stuff. It's not like punk rock or kind of like angry and violent or something like that. But it's more moralizing, uplifting, fun. I mean, actually, I do some punk rock. To be honest with you, that's kind of funny. I said that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you go to the homepage of this YouTube channel, you can find my website, and at my website there is a contact page. You can email me, or you could just leave your information in the comments below. But if you put it in the chat disappears when the show is over, so I won't know. But I mean, you draw, wait, I mean, like, can you draw something similar to what you're drawing in right now? And I make it like a lyric video or something like that. Wow, that's a pretty freaking sick concept. I like that idea. I think what you need to do, or what we need to do, is have like an I don't want to say offline, but like we need to have a conversation that's not in this chat right now, because I'm juggling this and everybody in the chat, and I would like to talk more with you about this. So let's. All you got to do is just shoot me an email, okay? Like I said, at the homepage, or it's just Kent-art.weebly, weebly.com, and like I said, there's a contact page there, and anybody can email me from there. Talk about projects. I am in a place right now where I can do some commissions. Those are very limited. It's just I'm in a place right now where I could use a little extra money, because I'm trying to pay people to do production on the comics. So that would be very helpful to me, if you know what I'm trying to say. And if okay. I'm missing some chats here. Track pack attack. Cool. Yes, that's right. Tox is dancing. Hamfari, together they surged, no need to pretend. House had a new name on which to depend. From dusk until dawn, they made bodies bend. Track pack with Kent, beat voice and blend. You're fucking the coolest guy I fucking know, you bastard. You fucking bastard, I love you. You're so fucking amazing. That shit's so cool. And it's so sick. Alright, I'm gonna confess something that's embarrassing, but back in, I don't know, when I was like in my 20s, I did actually rap in a band for a little while. But that kind of band was like, did you ever hear of acid jazz? It's like a kind of a funk rock fusion. It was, it was cool at the time, and I thought I was gonna be, the cool new guy who's hip on the trends. So like, it's not like I frankly could do it if I wanted, is sort of what I'm saying. But it's just, I have a whole thing about rap now where it's like anti-white, and I'm really trying not to push black culture, because we're already saturated with black culture, and I just believe that rap is black, and Forget about the history or whatever. This is just the convention of what everybody believes today, you know. And there's one argument though that somebody had with me somewhere, I don't remember, about like it's what young people listen to, and therefore you can reach more people with your message. And I was like, fuck, you're right. You are right about that. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I might have to bend and, do something with Amfari or something with some kind of rappy stuff. I don't know. We'll see. See how that goes. Okay. Together, oh, that's so beautiful. If somebody can screenshot that, please, and send it to me in the chat, not the chat, in my Telegram. Please screenshot that. I really, really want that. Uh, what Hamfari wrote. Please, please, please. Together they surged. Oh, there's more. I haven't scrolled. Together they surged. No need to pretend. House. Maybe I should put some hip hop beats on right now and just like freestyle this. With like a proper beat. House had a new name on which to depend from those. I already read that. What's wrong with me? Oh, it came out twice. That's why. House music is dope. Yeah, I'm a huge. You can rap over house music. That's not a bad idea. Where can we hear your music? So, Flash, you're watching me on my YouTube right now. So if you were to say open another browser window and just come back to this channel and then go to the home page, you've got like videos, music, playlists, comics, studio art, blah blah blah. You have like a bunch of different titles of playlists to watch, and one is my music. There's another one that's like music for working out or something. It's like workout music, Fash Wave and stuff. But you should be able to find it. It's got the picture with Pepe and like a normie NPC or something on it, with the "Someday Is Today" song. In fact, that song comes up when you go to my homepage. It automatically pops right on. Anyway, but the playlist is there, and that's got pretty much everything I've put out for this. Well, not all of the songs are like for the movement, but 90% of them are. And unfortunately, I've not had good luck with like, you know, getting all my shit recorded properly, so it's hit and miss. But you can still check it. Do some what is it? Radiohead. I didn't mean bad things, Mr. Kent. Don't take me wrong. I'm sure you're perfectly innocent, and you don't have any bad ways. Skincare and self-care. I asked my high school art teacher out once. She looked much younger than she was. Wow. It, you know, I had a girlfriend in college for 4 years. She was the one. But anyway, when I came back in those days, I used to wear like They're like suit coats, but they're made out of wool, and they have like so kind of like an Irishy look. It's sort of like a anyway. It was just a look that I had at the time in college when I was in my 20s. It was very cool. It was very unique. Nobody had that look. And I walked into the classroom when she was in there. It was the beginning of the semester. She had transferred from some other school. And I had my beard and all this, and I'm walking around the room, looking at everyone's work, and just enjoying like, oh, cool, this and that. And I had a chance to talk to her, and like, oh, I, well, nice to meet you. What, you're new here, blah 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 blah, blah flirty, flirty, this stuffy, stuffy. And she was kind of, not shy, but slightly timid, and but interested in talking and da da da. And then like I went over to my easel, and then like the professor came in and started the class. And she told me later, like, I thought you were the professor. Like, I thought that, you were the. So we both had a laugh about that, as I took her out on a date and began a very passionate relationship. Moving on. I didn't know she was. There is a teacher. She is married, but damn, she looks so young. I make beats. Want to collab? Oh, you're talking to Basie. Beastie Boys were all Jews. One of them was a half Jew, but you're correct, though. So you use Telegram. Today's conversation is so interesting. Hello to Kevin 2.0, Flash Gorgon, Donald. I already have your music on my computer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. My name is just Basie. Okay, on Spotify, Apple, da da da. This is oh yeah, it's well done. I'm not fond of trap, but it's clean. So that means Mr. Kent was so tall. It's so weird. This topic keeps coming up in my show. I don't know why, but like, I'm above average tall, but not tall tall. I'm not like basketball player tall. I don't think I'm like big, but other people say that I am. They'll be like, when they introduce me, they'll be like, "Hey, it's that big guy over there" or something. I think I just carry myself in a certain way that fills the space. I do actually do that. I'm conscientious about that. How do you know cultured thug? Good question, Kevin. So, we're pretty good friends now, actually. So when did that all go down? Let me think how that all played out. So I'm a founding member of what's called the White Art Collective. I don't know if you were around when that was happening. The founder passed away tragically, and everyone kind of went their own ways and stuff. But there somehow there was like a fundraiser for the mother of his child and all that stuff. And I was a big part of that fundraiser, and I was auctioning off one of my paintings, and I did a painting of Francis Parker Yockey. Now, if you know who Cultured Thug is, you definitely know who Francis Parker Yockey is. And he was the one that like offered the most money for the painting. In fact, to be quite honest with you, the painting is right here in this book. I can actually show it to you. He owns it. It's in his collection. Like if he ever when he live streams, it's on the wall behind him. There it is. Hold on a sec. So he, excuse me, he like I said, he bought it basically, and then the money went to the fund, you know. I mailed it to him, and so that's how we met, you know, through this experience. And then we just corresponded. I'm a massive fan. I love his channel. He's a hero. He's just a freaking genius, and it's all good. So I don't know what possessed me to. I just reached out to him, I guess, and I was like, "Hey, bro, how you been? It's been a while. You know, I kind of fell out of the show for a while, and this and that, and reconnecting." And then I'm like, "Hey, man, why don't you come on my show? You know." So he came on, and what a fucking show, man! He was on fire. He was on fire. I had to like try to keep up with him, you know. And then afterwards, we're like, we need to collaborate. We got to figure out a way to collaborate, you know. So we're still in discussion about that. Now I do have something kind of lined up, I guess, you know. Tox, you don't have to apologize. You can ask me anything. That's kind of what I like the ask me anything format, you know, for shows. I think, especially this show. What time is it, for God's sake? Holy crap! Because it feels sort of like we're getting close to the end here. Close to the end. If I can turn off this commercial. All right. So we got a lot of work done today, kids. I love CT. Yeah, I mean, it. He's not just a dude. Like he's important. He's really important. You know, like he's the things that he has accomplished with his studies, his shows, his media. Is very rare to find somebody. In fact, there is nobody like him if you think about it. You know, he's one of a kind, to be quite honest. So it's a privilege to know him, you know. And obviously he's very laid back and he wouldn't be like cocky or pompous or whatever, you know. But yeah, we share, you know, a massive interest and love for 3P. And you know, we really believe in it, and blah blah blah, fill in the blanks, you know. I like this line: "When I am king, you will be first against the wall." I'm listening to "OK Computer" by Radiohead. Your opinion is of no consequence at all. Anyway, yeah. What's that? So for a very long time, I've been kind of researching community developed concepts and stuff, and that's pretty much what I've got lined up. And I've finally targeted my goals, and I'm not going to talk about it too much here because I'm going to be using my real name and doing this in real life, you know, IRL, as they say. So that's that. And there you go. And now you know. Or you don't know. Splattercat, I gotta go. Hope y'all have a good night. Yeah, I gotta go too, dude. It's getting late. I get like when I'm working, I'm just like a robot. I just keep going and going. So God bless you guys. It's real nice to see you all again. Have some new friends that came by. It was really cool. I did leave my Venmo link in the show description if anybody wants to shoot me a coffee or something. You know what I mean? Like, give me a little flash. See, is yeah, just you know what I'm saying. So, if you feel generous and you got a buck, hey brother, can you spare a dime? Anyway, God bless you. We'll see you soon. I might go dancing tomorrow night, and I pretty much always go Saturday night. So, but if not, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Woohoo! Party, party, party!